Thanks for clicking! The London and St. Thomas Association of Realtors, LSTAR, has released London's real estate data for the month of December, showing a market that is not yet showing any particular signs of takeoff. Or, as the local paper puts it, London home sales hit 3-year high in 2024. And while the media was up to its usual narrative, if you want to call it that, over the holidays, predicting a 10% increase in prices come 2025...
Something very familiar about all this.
Yeah, we heard very much the same throughout December of 2023. But looking at December's data, especially compared to that of previous Decembers where the market did take off, there really isn't any indication of an impending takeoff. In fact, there are a few peculiarities. So what I want to do today is go over London's real estate market for the month of December, take a look at some of the oddities, stuff that we've never seen before, and then discuss some implications going forward. As I mentioned in the Toronto video, and I think we'll see it again in London, it's a wildly crazy time right now, for obvious reasons. In general, we are not accustomed to being threatened with annexation on a daily basis, let alone when we are without a prime minister.
Or maybe you're just really stupid.
Maybe not in name, but definitely in practice, we don't have anyone who can reliably negotiate with the Trump administration. So no one really knows how buyers are going to react to this unprecedented uncertainty. We will obviously continue to track the London market on this channel. Click like and subscribe if you want to get those updates, but for now, let's get into this data. Onto the data. First up, the benchmark price. The benchmark price, that's the price of a home that represents the most popular set of features, and that price was down in December. London's benchmark in November was $612,100, and that dropped a little over $2,000 to $609,000 in December. So that's a decrease of about $2,000, but the benchmark is still up by about $40,000 since this point in time last year. Next up, the average price, which also fell. London's average price in November was $614,400, and that fell about $7,000 to $607,100 in December. So the average price is down about $7,000 since last month, and down about $8,000 since last year. Meanwhile, the median price fell much more substantially. The median price, that's where half as many homes sell over that price and half as many sell under that price. The median price in November was $573,000, and that dropped almost $20,000 to $555,000 in December. So the median price is down about $20,000 since last month, and down about $30,000 since December of 2023. Next, the sales to list price ratio, which measures by how much over or under asking a home sells. So if a home is listed for $100,000 and sells for $98,000, the SLPR would be 98. The SLPR in November was 98, and then rose marginally in December to 98.2. So, on average, homes are selling for 98.2% of their asking price.
I don't appreciate your callous attitude.
And finally, the months of inventory measurement, the MOI. And this is where it gets interesting. The MOI measures if no more homes came to the market, how long would it take for London to completely run out of homes for sale. The MOI in November was 3.9, and that jumped pretty dramatically to 4.9 in December. And just briefly on the MOI, that's the highest MOI that London has seen for at least the past 10 years. Not the past 10 Decembers, but the past entire 10 years. I think most Londoners would agree that our market started to really take off back in 2016. That's when prices really became divorced from income. And if we look at the graph, the MOI is much, much higher than it's been ever since. Which means that...
Please don't.
No, I'm gonna. It means that Londoners have never had so much choice going into the spring market. They've never had so much choice over the past 10 years. Which means London buyers, if you are out in the market, have a lot of power right now. Which means finance conditions, home inspections. If your realtor won't, or maybe can't, protect your financial interests, then get one that will. There are a few of them out there.
He's gotten a lot better, don't you think?
Way better.
So we have the benchmark price down about $2,000, the average price down about $7,000, the median price down about $20,000. Homes are still selling for under asking, though less so, and we have an awful lot of inventory sitting on the market. But the real story in December was the lack of sales and the increase in new listings. Sales came in at 267 last month, the third lowest that they've come in London in December for the past 11 years. On the other hand, new listings in December came in at 365, the highest for December that they've come in, again, for the past 11 years. And then, taking this all together, we look at the active listings, now sitting at 1,319, by far the highest number of active listings that London's had heading into that spring market, again, for the past 11 years as well. And I do have to question why so many new listings are coming to the market in December. Who wants to sell in December? If Londoners genuinely believed that next year was going to be better than the previous year, which has, for at least the past 8 years, always been the case, then they should be waiting to list their homes. We shouldn't be seeing this many new listings come to the market in December. Londoners usually would wait, as they have for the past 8 years. And the same reasoning can be applied to sales. Traditionally, Londoners always knew that the spring market was going to be hot, and except for the past 2 years, they've always tried to buy ahead of time. But this year, they're not really, with sales coming in far below pre-pandemic. They are higher than 22 and 23, but there wasn't much inventory in those years either. So, midway through the winter with the spring market upon us, Londoners aren't buying. And, as I've said before, both buyers and sellers have access to the exact same information. They all get the same media. They all hear the same narrative. If both buyers and sellers thought that the spring market was going to be hot, the data should look much different. It should look like it did in every single year pre-2022 for the past 8 years or so. Yet there is another side to this coin, in that London's momentum from November to December didn't change all that much relative to previous November to Decembers, with sales dropping 37% from November, which is sort of right around where it should be. Maybe a bit higher than it should be, but nothing really substantial. So it's not like it was when we looked at Toronto and there was an apparent shift between November and December, as I'm sure uncertainty over current events probably held a lot of buyers back. Instead, it looks from the data at least as though Londoners just aren't flooding into the market the way that they were pre-pandemic. The data is just not supporting that narrative. We should be seeing much lower new listings, and we should be seeing the sales numbers much higher.
I'm not paying for this, bro. Why?
So, yeah, the numbers coming out of London are not what you would typically expect for the typical December, especially if the market was set to take off in the spring. As to why, there are any number of explanatory factors. Take your pick, be it the run-up in house prices that London saw over the past 8 years, rising unemployment, higher fixed rates, tensions to the south, a lack of a prime minister. Any number of these reasons could be pushing buyers back.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
With all of that said, this all could be a blip. If you remember back in November when sales jumped to sort of okay and the media went nuts that the market was about to take off again. That didn't turn out to be the case, and this could very well turn out similarly. With all of that said, I think January numbers are going to be the key. Given everything that happened in December, let's see if Londoners are going to try to jump into the market ahead of that spring season. We will obviously continue to track London's market on this channel. Click like and subscribe if you want to get those updates, but for now, thanks so much for watching.